Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the bit, huh? We had some fun ones last night. Honestly, you could have just recorded a bunch of different little clips from last night and used that as marketing for League Pass, because that was I had a lot of fun flipping around last night in fourth quarters. That was some really good hoops. More importantly, who do we have here this morning? All right, let's take some attendance. We got Sneeps. Let's go. Jump Shoots here. Snoopaloop letting us know it's National Handwriting Day, and that's one that I care a lot about. Happy birthday to Katie Bates Jop. There we go. Common man. Roy's here. Roy, I did miss you. Happy birthday to X-Files star Shillian Henderson. Well done. Well done, Boston Days. Patrick's here. Made the cut last night. Oh, there we go. Some fast break wins. There we go. We love that. Bout of mine's here. Homies is here. We love to see it. We love to see everybody's back. Also, Jump Shoot let us know Oppenheimer leads Oscar nominations with 13, including Best Picture and Best Director. That's why you tune into the NBA bit. If you missed it yesterday over on the So Rare channel, we had two different shows, right? We had Live Before Lock. We also had our Fast Break show, which we're doing every day this week at 3 p.m. Eastern, which means today we'll be back giving away the Scotty Barnes from yesterday and starting up a new one with LaMelo Ball, which is pretty exciting. So make sure you tune into that. That'll be at 3 p.m. over there. We're going to try to get a new Team Hold Sports video out there as well. Today we're out there grinding, baby. We're up early, we're grinding. We watched a lot of basketball last night, and truly one of the wildest, if you were, whether it's Fast Break or So Rare or Underdog or whatever sort of like fantasy gambling aspect you got, was like a pretty wild night, because everybody got there. Everybody had an insane performance last night. It was really, I don't know, like what was in the water, but everybody went ham. Veronica's in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Veronica? Roy said went silent for a couple days to get behind the paywall on top tier projections. There you go, Roy. Good. It was worth it, man. Top tiers out there. Oh, Snoop, you still didn't get into Fast Break? Did Vinyls get back to you? I saw he tweeted at you. Maybe I'll reply to that tweet, see if that helps. Although I know, listen, I got to tell you before we get into this, and this is for nobody really cares. My favorite thing about the Top Shot community is that even the good ones suck. Like everybody is so angry all the time. I just, we finally fired up some Fast Break content. It seemed like that would just be an easy win, right? Free content. And still some people try to get mad about stuff. So it's good. It's good to see it. Oh, also, speaking of people getting mad, I'm on Tandy's show this week at 4. I forgot about that. So we'll do the at 3 on Thursday, we'll do our what's it called? The Fast Break show, and then we will jump on to Tandy's show. Also, I'm realizing now we didn't put any lights on in the back. Come on. Amateur hour. Here's the carry-in. Let's go. But luckily, through the power of technology, we can use a phone. Boom. Let's do a little darker hue, if you will. But anyways, let's get into last night's action. It's insane. I missed it at the Top Shot Shills block 2. It was just our boy Veerman. Our boy Veerman was cranky. Tandy is on So Rare, but I don't think he plays. He like started right away, and then I don't think he got super into it. So there you go. We got to finish this coffee. We're at the red light now. We're at the red light. We got to get this coffee down. All right, here we go. Woo, baby. Let's get into last night's action. This was awesome. It really was. And Celtics were playing the Mavericks. You guys know I'm a Boston Celtics fan. So I was ready to, at 8:30 Eastern, I was ready to lock into that game. And then there was just too much going on that I just decided early that I was going to focus on fourth quarter. So we're just going to zip around from fourth quarter to fourth quarter, because when you see what we saw last night, you just have to watch it. You have to watch it. Whether you are a Sixers fan, maybe you're an Embiid fan or an Embiid hater. Either way, seeing something like that, like you had to tune in, and it was incredible. And we got the added bonus of it being against Wemby. So we talked about it yesterday in the Fast Break show, but like when looking at, trying to peg these like fantasy plays, you get the Sixers playing the Spurs. The Spurs have been pretty bad. But then we get a couple of comments in the last couple of days like, oh, hey, maybe Wemby's off his minute restriction. Maybe we're going to try a little bit harder. Maybe Wemby gets jacked up for the chance at playing against Embiid. And the Spurs somehow kept it close. And every time the Sixers were starting to pull away last night, the Spurs were going a little bit of a run so we could leave Embiid out there a little bit more. Embiid dropped 70 points. I mean, 70 points and 18 boards. It was just an incredible performance from the big man. It's just, and people will be like, well, it's a bad team, empty stats. I don't care. I don't care. That was pretty cool. So he finishes with 70 points, 18 boards, 5 dimes. Devin Vassell had 22 and 9. Wemby had 33 and 7. And the Sixers win 133-123. But the thing no one's talking about, Tobias Harris, team leading plus 21 for his plus minus. How about that? Yeah, as amazing as Embiid is aesthetically, it's hard. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine if it's hard, but we still got to give him props for this. Yeah, Snoop says hate the Sixers and really hate Embiid, but man, that was impressive. It was. I mean, he just did everything. Like, he was getting to the rim. He knocked down every single 14-footer. I think he only took 2 threes maybe and hit one of them. I was looking up some stuff this morning. So ready, here's the list of people who have scored 7. So you got Wilt Chamberlain dropped 100. Then you got Kobe's 81. And then we've got 3 Wilts in a row. Wilt hit 78, 73 twice. David Thompson in 78 also hit 73 points. Then Wilt Chamberlain again hit 72. The 71 list is Elgin Baylor, David Robinson. And then last season, right, we had Donovan Mitchell and Dame Lillard. And then the 70-point club is Wilt Chamberlain, Devin Booker, and Joel Embiid. What I just thought was interesting is especially in the modern game, right? So Wilt Chamberlain, we know Wilt Chamberlain's numbers are statistically insane, which made it even more impressive because Embiid passed Wilt as the franchise record holder with most points scored in the game. But in the modern era, most of those like Kobe, Donovan Mitchell, Dame Lillard, it's like a guard's game, right? Okay, they got hot from 3, they knocked him down. I mean, that's not what Embiid did last night. Embiid was just wildly efficient. Here, I'm going to pull up his field goal percentage and stuff like that too. Not his percentage, but just so we can see what his actual box score line was. So Embiid, 24 for 41 from the field. He went to the line. If you played Embiid in the free throw contest, he went to the line 23 times, knocking down 21 of them. Only took 2 threes, went 1 for 2 from 3. We just, when you think of someone scoring 70 in the modern era, Embiid's not the guy. I also, if you guys don't subscribe to Good Morning It's Basketball by Tom Ziller, I highly recommend it. But he shared a list this morning saying, working backwards, here's a list of centers who have won the NBA scoring title since the merger. Joel Embiid in 2022-2023. Joel Embiid in 2021-2022. Shaq in 99-2000. Shaq in 94-95. And then David Robinson in 93-94. So Embiid's the only one to do it in consecutive years, right? 21-22 and 22-23. And now he's working on another one, a third consecutive year. He's the only one to do that. And then only Shaq has done it multiple times in the modern ball era. It's just really, really, really impressive. And Skeet shared something this morning too that I thought was pretty pretty nuts. And I'm going to look up his tweet because I want to make sure I credit the right person that actually said it. From John Schulman, who is an advanced stats writer for NBA.com. Joel Embiid's 70-point game against San Antonio now pushes his scoring average to 38 points per 36 minutes, the highest in NBA history. I mean, good Lord. Is 24 for 41 good? Yeah, it is. That is really good. That is really good. It's well over 50%. It's pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, it was really good. Joel was still passing to open people, unlike Cat. Yeah, we'll talk about Karl-Anthony Towns in a little bit. And that was the thing. I mean, like Embiid was moving the ball around. I think like who's not going to get a lot of credit. I mean, I'm not saying he should get more credit, but who's not going to get a lot of love from last night's game? Maxey played 42 minutes. Also, Embiid did this in 37 minutes, by the way, basically averaging 2 points a minute. And Maxey played 42 and had 18 and 8. But Maxey was going out of his way getting the ball to Embiid like early in transition at the top of the key. Like he was working pretty hard to get Maxey. Maxey was working pretty hard to get Embiid the ball early on, which also is pretty funny. Not funny, but like Maxey was setting up Embiid for pretty nice shots. But then Embiid would do like, some like up fakes, whatever. And then enough time would pass that it would not count as an assist from Maxey. So Maxey probably got robbed from 3 or 4 assists. But really, I mean, really historic shit from Joel Embiid. And it was out of control. And it was one of those things like it felt like, because when I didn't watch a lot of the first half, I probably watched the second quarter. And I just kept saying, well, you know what? This is going to be really impressive. He's probably going to get to like 55 in the third quarter. And then they'll be up, 19, 20, 25 or whatever. And that's really what was happening. They started to pull away, and then we got to the last like 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, and there was like Embiid turned it over. Devin Vassell got an and one. Spurs get a stop. They get another bucket. All of a sudden, it's like an 11-point game. And I'm like, man, Embiid really might play his last rotation. Then I think with like 7 or 8 minutes, he checks back in, and then the 7. I mean, it was pretty cool, man. And to be able to do that at home, like, anybody, I saw M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong had tickets to last night's game. He's like a diehard Sixers fan. But to imagine to just like have tickets to that game and you're like, oh, dude, I can't believe I get to see Wemby. And then it's like, oh, you're here to see Wemby? Here's 70 fucking points. Just really, really good stuff from Embiid. And I don't even know if there's anything else to say about it. It just was it was an impressive win. Or not even an impressive win. You played San Antonio, whatever. But in San Antonio was going hard too. And I don't think they wanted to give up 70. Like you can see they were banging him down low a little bit down the stretch. I don't think they wanted him to get there. And you could tell he was pressing a little bit in the last couple of minutes, like as the game was winding down, like one of the threes he missed, which he still, I think, almost banked it in too, the way his night was going. But really impressive stuff from Embiid. 70 points, man. That's crazy. I did forget, though, that Dame and Donovan Mitchell both hit 71 last year. Like, as I was looking up the list, I like totally forgot that. Not only did it happen within like a month of each other, but it was in the same thing. Stan says, don't want to hear Wemby in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation ever again. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he's doing this to everybody. So what's Embiid's numbers now for the season here? I'm just going to go over to Basketball Reference real quickly. Joel Embiid. So on the season, he's averaging over 36 points a game, 36, 11 and a half rebounds, almost 6 times a game, shooting 54% from the field, still shooting 36% from 3, which isn't like, Ray Allen. It's not like lockdown or knockdown 3-point shooter, but 36% will take that. And then 88% from the line, 56% true shooting. I mean, he's just like his last 5 games, man. 41, 36, 33, 70. Just really, really good stuff from Embiid. So anyways, that was fun. I don't think anything else on that. Do we have to talk about that anymore? Is there anything else people want to get excited about? Bandy's done with it. Bandy's ready to move on. Right, bub? All right, let's go from the highs of scoring a lot of points to the lows of scoring a lot of points. The Minnesota Timberwolves, man, I don't know if so I had a lot of Karl-Anthony Towns on in Underdog last night, so I was like really excited to see what was going on. I mean, Cat came out and was just knocking down 3 after 3 after 3. It was crazy. Wait, hold on. Biggest bullish investor said they didn't have Wemby really stick and beat. It was Jeremy that had that job. Yeah, it was funny. I did a YouTube short this morning, and it was about Wemby throwing it down, and then I mentioned something about but Joel Embiid scoring 70, and the comment, of course, was like, well, only 16 of those 70 were scored on Wemby. And I was like, all right, well, congrats. And Daniel saying, I think Embiid is my clear number one at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's not. It has to be. It has to be. I mean, the only thing holding Joel Embiid back right now is he can only miss like 8 more games for the rest of the season. But yeah, and I agree with Stan too. Like, this will always be the counter argument, right? He's basically the Josh Allen of the NBA. Like, you got to see it done in the playoffs. You got to get past the second round. So we'll see. But anyway, so Catman, he comes out in this first half and he knocks down just 3. I think he had like 20 points in the first like 5 minutes of the game. And it was just, he goes 10 for 15 from 3, knocks down 10 3-pointers, 10 for 14 from the line, finishes the game with 62 points, 8 boards, and 7 turnovers. And I mentioned the 7 turnovers because a couple of those came in the second half. And I was watching the Timberwolves broadcast on this, and the announcers were absolutely hammering both the Timberwolves and Karl-Anthony Towns. And I think a lot of it, Mike Conley didn't play last night's game. And this is something we brought up before, but anytime Conley is not running point for them down the stretch, like in those last 6 minutes of the game, it does feel a little disjointed. Now, Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a nice game. Anthony Edwards did not have a nice game. He was also battling an illness where he was questionable all day, ends up playing. And there was some real hero ball stuff going on. Cat was really forcing it down the stretch, took a couple of bad shots. And then somehow they lose this game. And I know when they were down, I believe they were down 1 or 2, maybe it was 1. Under like 30 seconds left, they inbound the ball to Cat, who has, I think it was either Terry Rozier or Brandon. He had a smaller guy on him and just goes down low, goes to the rack, and he gets smoked. He gets absolutely fouled. They didn't call it. He got fouled by like 3 different dudes. They got robbed on that. He absolutely got mugged. I don't know how they didn't call that. It was horse shit. But it was one of those things where it's like, how do you get yourself into that situation? And it's from like poor offense down the stretch. There was just no ball movement. It was just kind of your turn, my turn, jamming the ball, missing corner threes. Like it was pretty rough. It was a rough watch. And I like, I'm not the biggest Timberwolves head, right? But it was pretty weird to see like the home announcers absolutely smoke them. Like, you normally, especially as a Celtics fan, I watch Scalabrini. Scalabrini just screams about shit the whole time. That's all pro Celtics for the most part. Shout out Scal. We love Scal. And I thought that's what I expected from Minnesota. And they really did hammer them. And I think one thing that sticks out, man, this is the best defensive team in the league. And somehow the Charlotte Hornets, without Big Dick Rich, score 128 points. And I don't know if this is something to keep an eye out for when we head to the playoffs, but this had like vibes of Clippers and Utah in the playoffs. And the Clippers, right, they don't play a big against them, and they like really spread the floor. And that's kind of what Charlotte did last night. They were playing either JT Thor, who was taking some janky left-handed 3-pointers from the corner, or they're playing PJ Washington at the 5. And of course, if we're going to say PJ Washington, we're going to hit that drop, baby. PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington. But yeah, and I don't know. And again, this might be more of stuff starts snowballing, right? You have all this momentum. Cat's having a historic night. All of a sudden, Charlotte strings together a couple of stops with a couple of baskets. They're keeping it within 8 to 10 points. And then all of a sudden, momentum snowballs, right? So maybe it's an overreaction. But I do think it's something like, I guarantee you good teams are going to be looking at this and being like, oh, is this what we need to do? And it's not. This isn't even an indictment of Rudy, because Rudy, there was a couple of times, especially down the stretch, where it looked like the Timberwolves were going to win, where like Rudy got switched on to LaMelo, and Rudy just shut him the fuck down. Like, really did. LaMelo's like, ooh, oh yeah, ooh, yeah, ooh, ooh, ooh. And Rudy's like, absolutely not, dude. I'm 9 feet tall, and I'm bonjour, LaMelo. And I just thought that he played really well individually on defense. But at the 128 points to the Charlotte Hornets, I mean, that's what's going on there, kid. But anyways, I guess give Charlotte some love there. And I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for Cat, but this feels like the most on-brand Karl-Anthony Towns thing ever. Has a historic night, drops 62, 10 for 15 from 3. And then what we're talking about after the game, the coach called him, what was his comments? I think it was Dane Moore who tweeted it out here, called him immature And what was the other line here? Let me see if I can find it. Uh, Chris Finch on the Wolves defense side kept imploring them to try to compete and play some defense, switching between man and zone, anything to contain the ball. Messages weren't getting through. And then what was the other real comment? That was a disgusting performance of defense and immature basketball. And then Ant-Man after the game says, immature as fuck tonight. Now, I have to imagine that's about Cat getting shots up, which is the thing is, like, I know he did take some bad shots, but it wasn't like Carl was like crazy inefficient either, right? So like I said, 10 for 15 from the from 3-point line, and then he got 10 for 14 from the line, which was funny because he hadn't missed a shot yet and then went to the line and missed 2 at the beginning or in the first quarter. But his full line, I mean, he went 21 for 35 from the field. Man, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. So I something to monitor moving forward. Again, if other teams take what they saw, that how they saw Charlotte attack Minnesota moving forward. And honestly, Minnesota's having a great season. They're 30-13. I don't think you have to go full overreaction, but the vibes felt a little weird thereafter. Regulator said Gobert should have been called for a flagrant against Terry, pushed him. Yeah, there was, and that was after, and you know why they didn't call it? I think the refs noticed that they missed like 45 calls in a row. I thought Rudy was going to punch somebody. Rudy was getting hammered down low, and then he did all of a sudden shoot him. Regulator said Wolves bench was rooting for him to shoot. Not fair to blame Cat. No, I don't think so either. I mean, they were. I saw that until we get down to the last 5 minutes, and then I saw the mood shift a little bit. All right, I think that's it on the 60-point performances. But again, both of the 60-plus point performances, both of those guys went off. On Underdog, it really was wild last night. You had like 7 or 8 dudes score over 60 fantasy points. Well, you had some dudes scoring over a bunch scoring over 72. It was pretty impressive. But all right, let's get to the Celtics Mavs. This was a pretty fun game. Celtics had control of it for most of the game. Mavs made a little run there in the fourth quarter, but not enough to make any real magic happen. And before I even go over it, I'm just going to show you some max pain that I had since we talked about both the Hornets game and now this game here. I want to show you this pick'em that just absolutely broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart. Hold on. This was it was max pain. Here we go. So last night we had PJ Washington with 16.5 points, rebounds, assists. He gets over 20. He gets 22. Miles Bridges over 27.5 PRA. He gets 35. LaMelo over 41.85 fantasy points. He gets 52. Luke over 58. He gets 77. Derek Lively, 15 points, rebounds, and assists. I needed him to get 17. He does not. He subs out 1 minute into the fourth quarter, I think. Does not come back into the game for the rest of the game. Just absolutely booted in the tuchus. It hurt. It hurt real bad. Stan says, LOL, Celtics think that bench going to get minutes and good in the playoffs. Good luck with that. Well, based on my understanding of how playoff basketball works for the last 20 years is that you only need 7 guys. So not really worried about it right now. But let's get into that Celtics game. So they win 119-110. Really impressive performance from Tatum, who, like, because Jaylen Brown was the guy that took over the last, 3 minutes of the game, was really he was doing some ISO stuff, hit a real tough, it was an interesting shot. So he gets the ball in the corner, and he, has the opportunity to just, knock down the 3, and he kind of, hesitates to get the defender to, commit to jumping, and it was Tim Hardaway Jr., and then rises up, knocks down the 3, gets fouled, big 4-point play, had a nice little ISO move on Luka where he just kind of puts his body into him. But really good game from JB, who had 34 and 4. But Tatum, who still finishes the game with 39 points, 11 boards, 5 dimes, and then he had 5 stocks as well with no turnovers, which I thought was pretty impressive. Porzingis didn't play in this game. Drew Holiday was solid, 17, 7, and 6. Nothing really from Derek White. Kyrie finished with 23 and 6 after getting off to a brutal start. Timmy Hardaway had 20 off the bench. And then our boy Luka with a 30-point triple-double. Luka magic. 33 points, 18 boards, and 13 dimes. Half of the 18 boards came from one possession, I think, where in the fourth quarter he had a nice move to the hoop, misses the layup, and then he taps it, misses the tip in, misses a tip in, missed 4 tip ins, picked up 4 or 5 boards in that one possession. It was really funny. And then he didn't make it, and he did not run back on defense because he was really pissed off. So, but good win for the Celtics, considering it was a road game after dropping that one to Denver over the weekend. They've come back now, and they go to Texas, getting W's from Houston and from Dallas. So well done, Celtics continue to roll. All right, let's go to Phoenix next because this game was really fun. Bulls were up big early. I think they were up 20 in the first half and early into the second half. Kobe White's been awesome, man. Kobe White is so good. 26, 10, and 9. Vucci had 19, 17, and 7 assists. DDR had 21 and 5. But the Suns get this W 115, 113. Was that a sneeze? What's going on, bro? You good? You good, buddy? Yeah. But it was the Kevin Durant show who just went ham. Dropped 43 points, 8 boards, 6 dimes, and a monster fourth quarter. Every time it seemed like Phoenix was closing in, Chicago would get a big bucket, and you're like, okay, Chicago's under control now. And then KD, he misses this 3. I think it was Beal or Okogie gets the offensive rebounds. Ball zips around. They find KD at the top, knocks down another 3. And then in a tie game, hits this crazy double hitch jumper with just a few seconds left, knocks it down. And then the Bulls can't really get a good look. Although DeRozan hit this back to the basket, 1 foot running out of bounds. I almost put it off the glass and in as time expired. But Suns with another big W. They look so weird, man. They're kind of like Milwaukee of the West, where they're winning these games, so you can't fault them. They continue to get W's, but it's a lot of down 20, holy shit, we got to go nuts, and then they do, and they have enough guys that can have insane heat checks. It was a funny line from the Suns broadcast. Who the Suns? I don't know how it's if wet like a book's here or chicken frig. Do you guys like the Suns broadcast? I found that to be painful at times. But there was one line that was really funny that KD is such an efficient shooter that even on inefficient nights, he has efficient runs. And I thought that was pretty good. Even on a cold night, he can get hot. And he did. That's what happened last night. I mean, he absolutely took over in the second half. One thing that I noticed on the Suns, Yusuf Nurkic got benched in the fourth quarter for Drew Banks. I do like Eddie. This will be taken incorrectly probably, but the woman on the call was tough last night, and I don't know her name. I wish I'll look it up afterwards. There was just a couple of things that especially down the stretch, there was a tough foul, and they were losing their mind. They were losing but I guess that's what you do. It's a homer, but I do like Eddie. Eddie's good. But yeah, Yusuf Nurkic got benched for the Eubanks, baby. He just got cooked a couple of times on defense in a row, and they went on a nice run to close the game with not to close the game, but to close the lead with Eubanks. And then I think once Nurkic came back in, Bulls got a couple points in a row, and then they were like, you know what? Let's get the Banks back in here. Let's get the Banks back in here. But it's nice to know they have that option, right? If Nurkic doesn't have it tonight, they can move to Eubanks. But a good win. I also think this is good for Chicago too. I mean, I know you don't want to be losing that game, but Chicago's playing good. This is a tough road game, right? I think this was in Phoenix, or did I make that up? Yeah, this was in Phoenix. That's a good, hanging tight. They're playing good basketball. So where's the trade Kirby? The Bulls are back. All right, let's keep moving. That was a great game. Kings Hawks. We can finally light the beam again, Chewy. I don't know if you're still here. You can light the beam again. No Trae Young. He's in concussion protocol. DeJounte Murray really was the only one that brought it. He had 35, 10, and 6. The Bogdanovich has had 18 and 4. Clint Capella with a double-double, 11 and 12. Sabonis with 21 boards. I think at halftime he had 2 points and 14 boards. Finished with 14, 21, and 6. Harrison Barnes. If I could turn back time. Harrison Barnes playing like he's at UNC, drops 32 points. Hey, what's going on with De'Aaron Fox? Anybody got any insight? Is he just playing? Is he playing hurt? He had a weird game. He had 12 points, 3 boards, and 1 assist. 1 assist from your starting point guard who played 36 minutes when your team scores 122. It just feels weird. Now, I mean, to be fair, dudes like, Harrison Barnes, we've seen Kevin Huerter do it, Keegan Murray do it. It seems like someone is always stepping up. Malik Monk, along with Sabonis, who's been pretty consistent. But the Fox stuff is a little worrisome moving forward. But whatever. Good win. Good win for the Light the Beam Bros. Good bounce back. We got 3 games left. The Bucks beat the Pistons 122-113. So Detroit defied gravity. No, they defied the odds here by playing 2 consecutive close games with the Milwaukee Bucks. And just like the last game, this is like 2 minutes left, and Detroit, I think, takes, or maybe like 4 minutes left. Detroit takes the lead, and then Milwaukee's like, we got to stop fucking around, and then steps on the throat. Giannis, 31 points, 17 boards, 10 dimes, another 30-point triple-double from the Giannis man. Chris Middleton at 26. Brolo had 15 and 11. Dame time, 17, 8, and 5. For the Pistons, Marcus Sasser. Sasser at 23 off the bench. Beef Stew, 19 and 8. Jaden Ivey, 17 and 6. And then Jalen Duran had 12 and 12. Milwaukee makes business. 2 wins in a row in Detroit, so good for Milwaukee. Nothing really to take away from that. Beat the team you're supposed to beat. Cavs beat the Magic in an absolute blowout, and this, I couldn't believe this. I was really surprised by this blowout. Cleveland, dude, just continues to do it, man. They continue to win games. They 126-99 in limited minutes to Donovan Mitchell at 25 and 13 with 4 steals. Jared Allen had a double-double, 14 and 11. Sam Merrill with 26, and then Paolo at 18 and 6. I'm actually going to go back to our pick'ems here. And we'll build one after we finish these games. But this one was tough, too, because we had another one that looked really good. Where is it? Was it this one? No, this is our pick'em that we did. Scotty Barnes with the double-double check. Luka covered. Porzingis was ruled out, so it didn't count. And then Rudy Gobert just missed. Where was the other good one that we had, though? That we, is it still live? Where is it? There was a, none of them ended up getting there. Hey, you know what? This is actually good because it was a blow. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Forget it. I thought that was closer than it was. Are the Cavs better off without Mobley? No, I don't. I think that's too far, but maybe, though. You know what? Maybe. We've got enough of a sample size now. No, I've never been horseback riding. Good question, though. Good question. Anyways, good win for Cleveland. We'll look at their run here in a second. And then the last game of the night, Grizzlies beat the Raptors. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think, had 5 steals in the first quarter. Grizzlies win 108-100. Raptors came storming back there late, but it was too late to apologize. Shout out One Republic. Triple J finishes with 27, 5, and 6 rips. Luke Kennard had 19 and 7. Vince Williams Jr., nice little double-double. That's been a fun story. You know what, Grizz? I'm sorry. Everybody's hurt. Vince is fun, though. 18 and 10. RJ for the Raptors had 29 and 9. He continues to play pretty well for them. And then Scotty Barnes with the double-double. 22, 12, and 8 from Scotty. That was last night's NBA action. Let's go see what do we got for schedule and the standings for tonight. Then we'll dive into that. Zakarian would be a great jockey name. Hell yeah, dude. And I still have the same jockey like build. You know what I'm saying? A jockey build. All right, let's go over to the NBA standings. We'll do this quickly since we did it yesterday. We didn't have too much movement. So Celtics get a big W. But so do the Bucks, so do the Sixers, so do the Cavs. So there's no movement over there except for the Cavs gain a half game over the Knicks, who didn't play last night. And then the Pacers, we got word today that injury management from Rick Carlisle. Halliburton's going to miss 3 more games, which sucks, but it's probably the right move, right? The Pacers don't need to rush him back. It's not like they're going to fall out of the play-in game. Maybe they don't host a play-in game, but they won't fall out of that too. The Bulls and the Hawks aren't going to catch him. So they rest Hallie for 3 more games. I think they brought him back a little too soon, but that was kind of a bummer. The Magic now 4-6 in their last 10, 23 and 21. Bulls dropped that game too. Hawks drop a game, whatever. On the West, right? So now the Thunder and the Nuggets are both a half game back from the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Clippers 2 games back. Suns now slide right into that 5 seed, like we said, because they get a W, Mavs get an L. So they jump up. Kings leapfrog the Mavs as well. And then you got Lakers, Jazz, Rockets, Warriors, Grizz, Blazers, and Spurs. And then for tonight's action, what do we got? Tonight, actually, we'll do it this way. I believe we have the Battle of New York, the Subway Series. The New York Knicks take on the Brooklyn Nets. We got Denver and Indiana, Knicks and Nets, Utah against the Pellies, Portland and OKC, and then the Battle of LA. We get the Lakers versus the Clippers tonight at the Crypto.com. That'll be a fun one. Lakers might be D'Lo's last game. Who knows? Who knows? All right, let's take a quick ad read break. We'll be right back. We'll do a little underdog pick'em for today. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy Sports. Whether you're drafting Luka first overall in best ball or fading Wemby blocks in the pick'ems, Underdog is where you'll find Team Hold. Sign up today at underdogfantasy.com or just click the link in the description to get started. And by signing up using promo code HOLD, HOLD, you will get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. That's a free honey. So sign up today using promo code HOLD, HOLD, and get started at underdogfantasy.com. All right, we're back. Oh, Maddie, this is a great question. So Matthew says, if Hallie misses out on All NBA, Embiid doesn't get MVP because of the minimum game threshold, do you think the NBA will be happy with the new rule? You know what? That's interesting. It depends, man. If the gap would have to be so wide, like so, if Embiid plays 63 games and he is so clearly the MVP over Jokic and Tatum and Luka and SGA, then yes. And same thing with Hallie, right? If Hallie doesn't make All NBA, but then somebody like Trey Young makes All NBA, then yeah, I think so. But I think the All NBA one I think it'll be a bummer if that happens. But especially with the All NBA not being guard specific anymore, right? Where it's just like the top 15 guys. Hallie's probably what I don't know. Let's see. Let's actually look at what the Ringer NBA rankings are right now. Because and not that that's the Bible, but let's look at it here. I'm going to share screen. Let's see the top 100 players in the NBA. So I think this one is going to be a little like the Embiid conversation is probably the right one. But here you go. They've got Oh my God, too many graphics. They've got Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Luka, Steph Curry. So that. Again, this is just the ringer, but based on how the All NBA is going to work, that's your first team right there. Second team, Tatum, SGA, KD, Booker, LeBron. That's your second team right there. Although LeBron top 10. And then your third team is Kawhi. So they got Halliburton 12. So basically you're saying, is this old? No, this is updated on January 18th. Man, Jimmy Butler 14th. So say like if Dame made it over him or Ant made it over him, Bam, Jamal Murray, Jalen Brunson. Like, I don't know. I think that conversation is a little bit harder. The Embiid one is real, though. I think if Embiid, is continuing to do this, if he's going to average over 35 points a game, be a third consecutive scoring title, the Sixers are going to be a top 3 team in the East. I do think that could be something. Boston Bay says minimum games played matters. Don't let these guys rest and make little boys and girls cry at their. I mean, yeah, I mean the Halliburton thing, he's hurt, so I don't know. And Embiid was hurt too for a little bit. He's like missing consecutive games, so we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens when we get there. I think it depends how egregious it is. I think if Embiid's clearly the MVP and then it goes to like a 5th seeded Luka, who again is putting up impressive stats. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't see them changing it after 1 year. I think it would have to be so bad. Like there would have to be some real missteps that would happen. But hopefully that's not a question. It does seem like people are playing more games. I do like that. Just in general, just in general. Boston Base went to a Bucks game and Giannis said, I nearly cried, which is weird because you famously don't like Giannis. You tweet about it a lot, right? You say he doesn't have a bag. You and Top Shot Tesla are the bagless Giannis team. All right, let's go back over to Underdog. Excuse me. Let's figure out a pick 'em. I thought last night we were going to hit. Last night felt good. Ooh, I agree with this. The 66 game schedule needs to be on the agenda. Yeah, I would even just 82 to 72, 82 to 72. So, all right, here we go. Do you think the Pacers keep this game close? Denver, Indiana, because I think this is the one where we could smash the overs. I really do. I also don't think we should fall victim of the first quarter points. I feel like the unders on those are the way to go. But if you think this stays close, I think I want all of the Jamal Murray in the world because there should be a lot of points. I feel like you could do a triple-double on this one with Jokic too, get a little spicy. And then we can find a Pacer to keep this. Oh, they're not going to have any Pacers listed? All right, maybe because Hallie's already been ruled out. Why don't we have any Pacers? That's stupid. Anyways, I kind of like that. And then bringing it back with like Miles Turner overs or Siakam overs. Let's go see if we can find anything else. Oh, it's no bag Mobley. I'm sorry, Tesla. I'm sorry, Tesla. Sorry. I'm glad I didn't mean to disrupt your work. You are a no Mobley bag. That's right. You're just part of the no bag club. The no bag club. All right. What do we think here for? We got to find another one. Zion against Utah. He should eat. Laurie Markkinen should probably have a good game. What about 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists from Brandon Ingram? He's been a rebounds and assists monster lately. I think like averaging like 15 of them combined in the last 2 games. I kind of like this. Anybody else have any hot takes for these you need me to look up? Herb Jones on the trading block. Herbie Jones. Colin Sexton's been awesome lately. 4.5 first quarter points. I'm not going to touch the first quarter. Oh, what about SGA against Portland? Actually, no, we're going to do Chet double-double. I think Chet is due for a big game. He's projecting like a monster this game week. Here we go. This is fun. We got 2 margaritas on this, 2 spicy marks. So Jamal Murray, over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Nikola Jokic, 1.25 spicy mark, trippy dubby. Brandon Ingram, 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists over. And then Chet Holmgren, a double-double over. 10 to win 250, boys and girls. Let's get after it. Today's the day that we make the magic happen. Let's share our picks. We're going to put it in the chat right now. There you go. There you go, baby. And then here we go. Now that's our underdog pick. Also, if you guys, I don't know if you're doing those drafts, but the drafting for tonight on NBA is we got a $5 6-person draft, 10K to first. That one's pretty fun. We're going to get after it today. They also have the breakaway. So it's a lot of ways to get involved if you're in the underdog streets. Of course, sign up promo code HOLT. When we're going to pop over to So Rare. Speaking of So Rare, don't forget Team Hold So Rare channel. We're going to be live over there at 3 p.m. today doing some fast break content. There you go. All right, let's jump over here. Let's see how my lineups are doing. I haven't checked yet. All right, my limited underdog. We had that. Ooh, Thad Young went for 35. Of course, the one time I don't play him. Bol didn't play in that game. Hopefully plays in the second one. Whatever. My rare contender's in 85th right now, but nobody really went off. Like Bogdan, I mean, they beat Cap, but they didn't go off. Santi Aldama, 26 is night. Patrick Williams, 27. Nah with 30, but I need my 2 big guns to go off. Duran and Bogdan in the next game. Let's see. What else? My limited contender. We got 28 from Nah, 23 from Santi Aldama, and 26 from Bogdan. My limited champion, Rudy, disappointed. Everybody kind of disappointed in these ones. So, and then this rare champ, yeah, everybody kind of disappointed. Nobody did great. So I don't know. How did you guys do on fast break yesterday? How did you guys do? Anybody crush? But yeah, we'll be back at 3 p.m. for that. Yes, Stan is reminding the chat that I suck, but I'll be over on Top Shot Tandy show at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Tomorrow, I think I don't know if we have 89 caps tomorrow, but we do have 9 a.m. the NBA bit. At 1 p.m. we'll have So Rare Sharps with George St. Ledger. And then at 9 p.m., our friends over at Shot Tank, baby. Shot Tank will be live. So Regulator said, hey, with 2 new teams coming into the league, that would be perfect time to reduce the games to 74.8 divisions created. 8 divisions created, 12 division games plus 30 conference plus 32 out. Yeah, listen, I'd be fine with this. And the only reason too that I agree with you, not the only reason, another reason I agree with you, Regulator, is that with 2 new teams coming in, the owners will also make money off of that. Because they get like some revenue share, I believe, when that first gets started. So with that happening, maybe it won't feel like a loss when they get rid of games, but I still don't think the owners are so money driven. I don't think it's just too much revenue is going to be taken away by eliminating like 10 games, which is 5 home games for everybody, right? Ooh, missed fast break by 1. Damn, son. Well, come back today, 3 p.m. I forget which one it is. Today just field goals made today. I forget. We'll break it down a little bit later. 148 new games from 2 new teams. Yeah, I mean, I hope they do it. All right, gang. I think we're going to call it there. Short and sweet today. We had incredible basketball yesterday. Excited for tonight's slate as well. Yeah, the NBA bit, by the way, should be at 9. As always, on Tuesday nights, I have my live thing, and sometimes I'm out a little bit later. And so there's a chance I'm like, hey, we're doing it at 11, or we're not doing it at all. So just stay tuned. Depends how spicy the basketball is tonight. And also, look, we're repping No Dunks Inc. How about that? This is a gift from my mother-in-law. We love to see that. Make sure you go tune into No Dunks at 10. And they're almost at 100K subs. They're going to get a plaque, baby. I want a plaque. Who scores 60 tonight? I mean, it would be funny if Jokic was like, dude, I can't believe everybody's talking about Embiid. It's my turn to shine. He could do it. I can see regular season Randall going ham. Maybe LeBron does it. LeBron does pay attention to narratives. Who knows? I hope we don't get 60 tonight. I don't want that to be a normal thing. I want it to be special. Just a little bit special. All right, gang. We're going to call it there. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We will catch you at 3 p.m. for some NBA Fast Break. All right, we're out.